Good day everyone. I'm Stephanie Gulagan. I will be reporting the last two basic competencies to know in having a CSS and C2. So those are the practice career professionalism and practice occupational health and safety procedures. Practice career professionalism. So, number one in practice career professionalism is integrate personal objectives with organizational goals. So, personal development, let's talk about personality development. So, personal goals affect how an employee performs. They can serve as motivation to be more productive and more successful. So, businesses are most successful when employees' personal goals are aligned with corporate goals. So, hindi lang dapat, di ba meron tayong personal goals. So, as a employee, so, dapat yung personal goals natin is aligned to the corporate goals for the business be an successful one. So, this can be difficult to do at times, but it is possible. Finding common ground between personal goals and organizational priorities can be hugely productive. So, part of the organizational goals is to have their employees free from illnesses and strong and healthy body. So, one of the most effective ways we have to protect ourselves and others from illnesses is good personal hygiene. So, let's talk about personal hygiene and practices. Number one is body odor. Body smells are caused by a number of factors working in combination. Working in combination. So, as an employee, it is your duty to let yourself free from body odor because it is part of your personal hygiene. So next one is hand washing. Most infections, especially colds and gastroenteritis, are caught when we put our unwashed hands, which have germs on them, to our mouth. You should always wash your hands. So you should always wash your hands after using toilet, before making or eating food, especially the food technologies like us, and after handling dogs or other animals, and if you have been around someone who is coughing or has a cold. Next one. Things to remember. Good personal hygiene is one of the most effective ways to protect ourselves and others from many illnesses such as gastroenteritis. And as I've said earlier, it is part of our duties being an employee to have a good personal hygiene, not just for ourselves, and it's because for others also, to let them be free from other illnesses that may cause by spreading it by having not good personal hygiene. So, Number two in practice career professionalism, set and meet work priorities. So, in any possible position, in any company that you were ever had, it is a given that there will be a more work to do than there are hours in a day. So, you could kill yourself trying to do everything that needs to be done and still not manage to complete it all. So, as an employee, your most important task is to determine priorities so that the things that need to be work on are those that receive your time and attention and that of your department. So, priorities have to be established based upon what is best going to meet your company's needs. So, as a mere employee, we should have our priorities. So, properly determining priorities requires understanding the various tasks that needs to be done, how they relate to your company's goals, and how they compare to other tasks that also appear important. So, um, I have here the part ABC priorities. In this method, you make a list of all the tasks that you have to complete and assign them in a letter code, which is the ABC. It is the most common form of prioritizing tasks. So A is for high priority, very important to get this done. So in this letter, it is you need to prioritize which is the high priority that is needs to be done immediately. So next is letter B, medium priority. This should get done. So in this letter, you should prioritize which is next to the high priority. When you have done the high priority, that task that is high priority next to be done is the medium priority. So next is letter C, low priority. It would be nice if this could get done. So this requires less priority. So this involves those things or tasks that not requires to be done immediately. So it is assumed with this method that you know how important the various tasks are in regard to your company's and department's goals. So the next step in the process is to add a due date for each of these tasks. Most important tasks need to be completed by a particular time. So next one is number 3, maintain professional growth and development. So professional development helps build and maintain morale of staff members and is thought to attract higher quality staff to an organization. So, maintaining professional growth and development is a process of improving and increasing capabilities of staff through access to education and training opportunities. In the workplace, it may be through outside organization or through watching others perform the job. So, professional growth in a career requires continuous acquisition of knowledge and skills through study, instruction, investigation, and practice. It is an ongoing process, not that it involves that when you've been in a company, you need to grow continuously. You need to learn continuously. It is an ongoing process that you requires to have continuously acquisition of knowledge and skills so that you may perform well in the next few years of your work. So career planning involves visualizing what you need to be doing in the near future within your profession. Career planning enables professionals to set goals and define specific tasks that must be accomplished in order to reach these goals. At the same time, career planning considers options and alternatives. So, it is important to have career planning to know what your needs to done to reach your goals, to reach your department's goals, to reach your personal goals, and to reach your company's goals. So, career planning, having a career planning is a good way to have options and alternatives. So, flexibility is important as we cannot know the future, which is correct. The last part of the basic competencies is the practice occupational health and safety procedures. Occupational health and safety or OHS is concerned with health, safety, and welfare issues in the workplace in order to prevent accidents, illnesses, and injuries. Policies and procedures are important in discussing OHS because it aims to make the workplace safer and better for workers and stakeholders. It is concerned with many factors such as removal of hazards and reducing accidents in the workplace. So, as a future computer technician, it is your responsibility to know these standard protocols, especially since you will be assembling and repairing expensive and sensitive equipment that needs care and proper handling. So you need to know those occupational health and safety procedures. So there are 3 steps that needs to be done to facilitate OHS procedures in a CSS workplace. So those are the number 1, hazard identification, hazard assessment, and risk control. Later, I will be discussing those 3. So, additional OHS procedures that must be observed in computer servicing. So, the first one is, do not remove computer parts while it is still plugged on its power source. So, why? Why do you need to not remove computer parts? So, it is because if you don't unplug it, computers still hold an electrical charge, and if you touch wrong thing, you can get electroculated, or you may be shocked or fry the whole computer. Cheap RAM upgrade turns into buying a new computer. So it is necessary to don't remove computer parts while it is still plugged on its power source. So the next one is, remove jewelry and other accessories while working. So why? Why do you need to remove all jewelry and other accessories while working? It is because all jewelry should be removed when you are working around live circuit. Metal conducts electricity and an electrical charge through a ring or metal watch band can be extremely hazardous. So it may cause severe burns. It may cause an serious damage. So the next one is, avoid bringing liquids inside the workplace. So why do you need to do that? Because spilled liquids may damage the internal microelectronic components or cause electrical damage. Short circuits can corrupt data or even permanently destroy some parts of the computer or laptop. So the solution is very simple. Keep your drinks away from your computer. So the next one is, avoid over-tightening screws. So why do you need to do that? Because this can result in stripping screws, snapping screws heads, and damaging pre-threading. So over-tightening screws can damage motherboard. The next one is, wear an anti-static device to prevent electrostatic discharge. So why do you need to do that? It is because before that, you need to know what is anti-static. An anti-static device is any device that reduces or dampens or otherwise inhibits electrostatic discharge, or ESD. ESD can damage electrical components such as computer hard drives and even ignite flammable liquids and gases. So, the last one is, use shoes with non-conductive rubber soles to reduce risk of being shocked. So why do you need to use shoes with non-conductive rubber soles? So because it helps to reduce the chance of being shocked or seriously injured in an electrical accident. So next. So the next one we need to know is the hazard identification. So it involves observing the workplace surroundings to recognize potential risks. So what is hazard? Hazard are anything that can hurt a person. Example of hazards that can be encountered when conducting computer system servicings are, number 1 is tangled electrical cords, unsecured or unevenly stacked boxes, and noise. So, what are the common hazards that can be encountered in the electronic industry? So, the next one that needs to be done is the risk assessment. So, assessing the risk is evaluating how a hazard would harm a person. While hazards are what can harm the person, risk is the possibility of the hazard harming someone. So, the two questions can be asked to assess a risk. So, the first one is how likely will the hazard harm me or someone else? And the next one is how damaging will the risk be? So, those are the question that needs to be asked in assessing risk for you to control the risk, which is to be tackled next. Risk control. So, risk control is once the hazard has been identified and its risk has been evaluated, it is time to address this issue. So, as your supervisor for instruction and training before using or repairing an equipment, because they are the one who knows what to do, what is really need to do for you to lessen what is risk to what you can have risk. So, do not carry or move heavy objects by yourselves. Get help from others. So, there are 4 hazards that you need to know to control risk. So, the first one is the physical hazards. Physical hazards can be further classified as an occupational or environmental hazards. A common type of physical hazard are cables tangled across the floor. It can cause someone to trip and fall. This can be addressed by making sure that the workplace is in a clean and proper condition. So, the next one is mechanical hazards. So, mechanical hazards can be either a result from manual use of tools or powered equipment. An example of this is getting entangled with tools and equipment used in the workplace that may lead to injuries. The next one is chemical hazards. This is caused by exposure to chemical in the workplace. Chemical hazards should be prevented as it can cause long-term harmful health issues. So, the last one is the electric shocks. Especially these hazards. An electrical hazard is a dangerous condition that can be caused by direct electrical contact from an active equipment or electrical conductor. So, those are the 4 hazards that you need to know in hazard identification, risk assessment, and risk control. So, that will be all of my lesson. Thank you.